It's week 2 of the NFL preseason, where depth charts and playbooks will be put to the test. We can hardly wait for the start of this one on Sunday night.
Well, they don't call them the faithful for nothing, Brock. Fans numbering 70,000 strong and made the trek to Santa Clara, and they're ready to cheer on their 49ers here at Levi Stadium. Hey, Brock, I'm Kate Scott. Happy to welcome you to week 2 of 3 here in the preseason. Man, this is the week, Brock, where a lot of players, they're not just fighting their opponents out there anymore, but they're fighting each other for the roster spots remaining as we look ahead to the final week of the preseason.
Yeah, that's well said, Kate. And every coach will say the same thing across all 32 teams. Don't count numbers.
Yeah.
Don't look around the room.
Yeah.
Don't look at anybody else. Just worry about doing your job. But when you're outside the top 40 or so, you know it. You know you're on the bubble, and your performance in this game really matters.
Jake Moody now ready to get this one started. And off we go in Santa Clara. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. Leading them out in year 11. He's played 15 or more games every season in the league. A real Iron Man, Derek Carr.
Well, it was another very statistically productive season down in New Orleans for Derek Carr a season ago. Another 25 touchdowns, almost 4,000 yards. And what I love about this guy is he is remarkably durable. He's played 15-plus games all 10 seasons that he's been a starter in this league. That's called the ability of durability, to be there for you guys. Now, the next step in New Orleans is to take this franchise to the playoffs.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. Carr to the air now. That's complete to Kamara. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 23. Rifles it, and it's caught. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
They'll run here on first down. And they'll only find 1 yard up the gut, 2nd down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground with Kamara. He breaks a tackle. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of about 3, so a third of what they needed. 3rd and 6 coming up.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
Throwing his Carr. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. So that right there, exactly what you're looking for in the opening drive of a game.
And these opening drives are tone setters. You come out flat, maybe you go 3 and out. Sometimes there's a carryover effect, Kate, but here they were sharp, they were crisp, and they grabbed the early lead.
Blake Groupie to try the extra point. That one right down the middle. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And that's where they'll begin the drive following the return. So here come the 49ers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out, a player known, yes, for that draft status, but also as a great methodical passer. I know you love this guy, Brock. The last pick of the 2022 draft, it's Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy proves that his rookie year was no fluke. 31 touchdowns will do that. But what I loved was the efficiency, the rating, and not just me. It's what Kyle Shanahan and just listen to those 49ers teammates talk about Brock Purdy. Sure, he threw for almost 4,300 yards, but just at every turn, on every stage, this guy delivers. In fact, he became only the 8th quarterback to take a team to a Super Bowl in their 2nd season in the history of this league. Can't wait to watch Brock Purdy.
And the Saints came marching home, and they dropped him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That is not a good omen at all. You know, you spend so much time, Kate, on the first 15 plays, and that first play, you've rehearsed it in your head over and over as a quarterback, as an offensive line. You never, ever want to go backwards, have such a negative play, but now you got to flush it and quickly move on.
They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Trying an inside give now with McCaffrey. Still motoring past the 30. And he'll finally be taken down right along the 40. Give him 24 on that play. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
Purdy to throw it. Bails out of the pocket quick. He'll step up, and there he goes.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Purdy throwing here. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he'll be brought down after getting to the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on that game. And that's a 49er first down.
I'm sure Coach, play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On first down, they'll run. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Going run again with McCaffrey. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there, and that leaves them with 3rd down and 5. Looking to throw, Purdy. Into the hands of Kittle. And they make the stop, I'm going to say about the 37-yard line. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
So it'll be another 1st and 10 for him, Brock, down at the opposing 37. They send a tight end in motion. They go play action on first. Got a man, coverage lost him, complete. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and ducking the ball.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
He gets another shot here. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. About 4 yards for him on that run. More distance than that left, though, on 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Here he is on 3rd and long. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
4th down now, and on comes Jake Moody for the 49ers field goal. This only a chip shot from the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And look at this return. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. 2nd drive coming up for the Saints offense. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. They strike for 23 yards. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Carr gets this to Johnson. And that tackle stops him after a solid game.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball. 2nd and 4. No hesitation, and that one's caught.
A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
All set up now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Throwing it again here. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Throwing from the gun. This finds Moreau. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Carr back to throw. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints get 6 more on their early advantage. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Group B to try the point after. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
49ers 3.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. 2nd drive coming up for this 49ers offensive unit. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They motion the slot man right. Here's Purdy to throw. That's complete. Here's Cowie. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. This will be caught by Kelly. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Play action on 1st down. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. It's a 2-score game early. Back to Levi Stadium right after this. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They have it, 2nd and 4. They send the tight end in motion. The give here on 2nd. And this one does not go far. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Quick hitter complete. That one ends up a gain of 6. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Purdy looking to throw. This ball's caught by McCaffrey. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. McCaffrey running between the tackles. Big gap up the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. We've got a stoppage here. There's a player out there in some pretty obvious discomfort being worked on. All hopes, of course, that it's nothing serious, especially here in the preseason. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Still a couple of shots at this one.
I'm just going to say maybe not the guy you want to pick on in coverage on this particular series. Gets a hand on that throw and knocks it away. The next time, well, he could get 2 hands on it and take it the other way.
They'll send him up the middle. And he gets back to the line, but no more. Just not quite enough to break the plane, and now it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you? Or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
Handoff now, running right. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
Fourth down now, and on comes Jake Moody for the 49ers field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that brings the deficit back within a score, 8 points.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call. 1-844-MADDEN-1 and make your case for who should get a boost. And they needed more than one defender. Their powerful runner stopped for just 1 yard.
In that passing game.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Here we go, back.
First throw for the backup now. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it.
Reacts so well to throws and is even more adept in breaking up those passes.
Here we go. Ready.
3rd and long for him here. That's caught for the first. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Here's Rattler. Wilson's got it. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road for what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Rattler to the air now. Pass caught, 9-yard line. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the 2 of them.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Straight ahead, here's Miller. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
Throwing his Rattler. Dump off complete to his running back. Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, Rattler. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free, incomplete.
See the pass, time up your hit, and jar that ball loose. Not a lot of players are hanging on through a well-placed hit like that one.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. This only a chip shot from the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And it's now a 2-possession game as the lead grows to 11.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset they couldn't finish the drive with a touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Here's Grupe on now to handle the kickoff. His return starts at the 5. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Now the 49ers getting set to go on offense. They managed 3 on their last drive, but down inside the red zone, disappointing not to come away with a touchdown. First and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Dobbs. Finds his man, Gray. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. With 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
He takes off left on this second down. Big play, pushes them beyond midfield. And he has all the way across to the 45. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's a 49er first down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
All on the 45, first and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
You know, kid, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They give it to him again. Into the second level past the 30. And he gets this all the way inside the red zone, down at the 19. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
Keep this drive moving and come to the line for first and 10. Dobbs. Rifles it, and it's caught. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 3 now. Throwing is Dobbs. He brings it in. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. Here's Dobbs. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. They give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this across. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers make it a one-score game in the first half. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out. And that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Jake Moody on for the PAT. That one right down the middle. And they're a point closer now on the scoreboard.
49ers 13.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. This return starts at the 5. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he goes out of bounds to hand them excellent field position up across the 40. The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Rattler back to throw. Finds his man over the middle. And he's going to go down right along midfield stripe.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Got a man open, complete. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints grow their lead just before halftime. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Group B to try the point after. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
49ers 13.
Here's Group B on now to handle the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. The 49ers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Dobbs now. Able to hit Mason, complete. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
Translatable skills. That's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
49ers moving quickly, trying to get their offense to the line. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
Timing is everything in life, and timing is everything defensively. That throw was just a little bit late and gave the defense time to close, deliver a pop, and knock that ball loose.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Now it's Dobbs. Got a man, coverage lost him, complete. And they'll have it across midfield as he runs out. first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them the first down.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. To the air, Dobbs. Hauled in by Gray. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. We get a timeout here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Second and 3 now. From the 41. Completes this one to Gray. And they get this down to the 28. San Francisco calls it second timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Up to the line, and they're set. First and 10. Throwing it again here. That's complete. Here's Cowie.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Second down now, 7 to go. Back to throw, Dobbs. Quick hitter, complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Working quickly here. First down from the red zone. Cut near the goal line. And he's got it across the goal line for a touchdown. So an absolutely beautiful throw there, finding his man in space who turns it into 6.
Yeah, they really took advantage there, Kate, of some soft coverage. You want that on that corner route. Plenty of space for that route to develop. Great execution, and it pays off with the touchdown.
On is Moody for the extra point. That one right down the middle. And they're a point closer now on the scoreboard. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. And they'll kneel this one down. So at halftime, the Saints fighting to an advantage on the road. As we hear from Jonathan Coachman over in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in just a moment. Want to remind everyone, this is week 2 of the preseason. These two teams will have one more tune-up after this next week, before the regular season gets started on the Thursday following Labor Day. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the ball. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. This return starts at the 5. He's got a lane up past the 30. The 49ers offense ready to get to work to begin this third quarter. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half too as they chase this lead.
Well, that's exactly the way you want to come out of the locker room to begin the second half. And really, Kate, this third phase of the game, the special teams, you just see the boost and the energy they can give to their team when they deliver a nice return to start this second half.
Plowing up the middle. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go. Throwing off the play fake here. On the move, headed right. He's going to keep it this time. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that first down anyway.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. He's going to throw this one. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's second and 5. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further. They'll need 4 to convert now after no gain on second down.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. They send him left out of the slot. From the gun on 3rd down. Tried to connect, but it winds up incomplete. Defender smart there to get a hand on that one. And 4th and 4 coming up.
I think it's safe to say that without that ball being tipped, we are looking at a big game. It's a missed opportunity to push that offense, but an even better play defensively to deny the throw.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. Here comes the Saints offense. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Here's Rattler. Open receiver, caught. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
You know, Kate, years ago, my old high school receiver and I got together for a football camp. I could still close my eyes and throw him that slant. We've done it millions of times. You get a QB receiver connection like that, it's dynamite.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Back now, pressure on its way. That's taken in by Means. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. From the 39. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And now it's 3rd and short.
True story, Kate. After practice one time, the head coach in the NFL said, "I'm done with my fault. I'm done with my bad. No more of that tapping on your chest." That was an example of the quarterback delivering a perfect pass, and the receiver, do your job.
3rd down from the gun. Couldn't bring it in over the middle. Incomplete.
I think in a situation like that, 3rd and inches, defense is certainly thinking stop the run first. But that's well done defensively. Not a problem for them to adapt and get into the right coverage and now force a critical 4th down.
4th down punt coming for the Saints as Lou Hedley runs out to send it away. And this one ventures out of play on the fly. The question is where it's marked. Looks like they'll say the 17-yard line. Now out comes the San Francisco offense. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Doms. He'll get this one to Cowie. And he's up across the 20 before going out of bounds.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Throwing his Doms. He's going to loft one deep to the left. He makes the catch. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that's a 49er 1st down.
You know, Ken, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the big play moves him well past midfield, has him set up now at the 35. Here's Dobbs. Finds his man Gray. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. He picks up 15 on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Working inside the red zone. Got it. And he's got it across the goal line for a touchdown. So that brought an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
On is Moody for the extra point. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And that's where they'll begin the drive following the return. The Saints come marching onto the field. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Now Rattler. He puts some power on a deep one left. He's got his man complete. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints need only one to take the lead. Now, I know that's one of his favorite routes to run, Brock, but that has got to be one of a quarterback's favorite throws to make as well, right? Drop it in over the defender and take the lid off the D for 6.
Because it is so simple. It's something that these two have done and thrown together for years and years. Maybe not to each other, but since Pop Warner. They've been running the go route. Just run right by him, and if you're even, you're leaving, and I'm going to drop it right over the top.
Group B to try the point after. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
49ers, 27.
Here's Group B on now to handle the kickoff. His return starts at the 5. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he's brought down. The offense will come onto the field. The 49ers and Joshua Dobbs headed back on offense. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Drive start to the quick throw left, complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about...
It's a big old tight end. That's an extra bonus.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's tackled.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Dobbs now. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now they face 2nd down.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
Second and 10 now. He finds the open man there, complete. They'll get 18 yards there. And that's a 49er first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
1st and 10 from the 41. Running out of the gun with Mitchell. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. Second down. A tight end in motion now. 2nd and 12 behind the sticks. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And brings up 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
Looking to throw, Dobbs. That's caught for the first. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum. Keep that defense on its heels.
Set now, 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And that one's incomplete, but boy, are they lucky it wasn't intercepted. That was a risky shot, but fortunately, they still have 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, well, he just couldn't quite hang on.
They'll run now on 2nd down. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Back to throw, Dobbs. Ooh, that looked like a pick for a second, but it hits the end zone grass. They are very fortunate to get this one back, but now they've got 4th down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, it just couldn't quite hang on.
And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
Listen, all he could do is make the kicks he's called out there to make. They need extra points from him, but for now, he's able to handle his 3rd field goal of the game and just inch them a little bit closer.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. Finds some space, he's past the 30. And a great return has the offense just a touch shy of midfield as they start this drive. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. Looking to throw, Rattler. Got a man open, complete. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Able to hit Robinson, complete. Ooh, play didn't develop like he needed. He goes out behind the line.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Throwing is Rattler. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing from the gun here. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints grow the lead to 7. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there,
Yeah.
because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
Group B to try the point after. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead.
49ers 30.
Here's Group B on now to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. So here come the 49ers on offense. They'll look to bring him out for an extra point instead. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a give right side to Mitchell. And he'll get this across. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock. He found a seam, got through it, and he was gone.
You know, it's one thing, Kate, to have singles hitters, right? Those, and you appreciate guys that can get on base, but it's the home run hitters that are the difference makers, and what a big-time effort.
Now the 49ers deciding to keep the offense on the field. They're going for 2.
The 49ers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Keeping it on the ground. And he's into the end zone again. So he gets them the big play touchdown, and then they reward him with a chance to add on 2 more. But we all knew extra point was doing nobody any good there. Gotta go for 2 in the tie. They do. They get it. And just like that, we're all squared up here in the second half.
Squared up, brand new ball game, even Steven. Who is Steven? Do you know who Steven is?
Good question. No, go ahead. Go ahead, though. You take it.
I don't know who Steven is, and I don't really care because it's a whole new game with both teams totally alive.
Surprising that he wasn't out there to break the tie with a point after, as he gets out there now to kick this off. Kickoff taken at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Saints and Spencer Rattler coming out for their next drive. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Here's Rattler. St. Brown's got it. Complete. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
Offense to the line for second down. Now an inside handoff to Miller. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. It's going to be a pickup of about 2. That leaves him with 3rd and 9. That's the end of the 3rd on Sunday night. It's been a thrilling game, an absolute barn burner that is shockingly still tied as we get set for the 4th. And the 49ers in a nickel set. 3rd down coming. Back now, pressure on its way. Pass taken in by St. Brown. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field. Keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Hunter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And the offense ready to head back out onto the field. They've got first down from the 31. Throwing now from the gun. He's got it, room to run. And he's officially into enemy territory now. They're going to give him the opposing 49. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Going option, headed left on this first down. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
When they drop these plays for the quarterback, these are the type of results they're expecting, Kate. Something that could tear a hole in the defense, move the chains, and just as importantly, and maybe most importantly, put a seed of doubt and thought into that defensive mind that the QB can run at any time.
On first down, they'll run. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be second down.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Now it's Dobbs. He completes it in traffic. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the 2 defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
From the gun on 3rd down. Tight end cut across the middle. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's a 49er first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Doms. The throw is caught. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stuffed at the 2. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal. From the gun, they're going to hand it off. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second chance at 6 here. It's 2nd and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he's brought down for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Throwing with a blitz on the way. And he will score. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers take a 4th quarter lead. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. On is Moody for the extra point. That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. His return starts at the 5. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The New Orleans offense set to go now. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has him down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Rattler back to throw. An alert play defensively there. Got a hand on it to tip it away. That makes it 2nd down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Rattler to the air now. He'll get this to Means. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Niners countering with a 5th defensive back on this 3rd down. Rattler. He's on the move. He's running for it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Now Rattler. Tight end reels in the shallow throw. And he's able to move past the 45 before going out.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. From the 46. Caught by Miller. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball, right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. They'll run here on first down. And he's brought down after a short gain. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up second and 8. Running once more with Miller. Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
Kate, that's the type of run that shines the light well on him as a runner, of course, but you've got to give a lot of credit to everybody else. Those skill guys, when you have an outside run, they got to do their job. Not just the big boys up front, not just the running backs. That takes everyone on the perimeter blocking to get a big run like that.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Working inside the red zone. It's caught. And he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints get it down to a single point. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the fourth quarter that could go either way.
On for the PAT, and a make would tie us up late. That one splits the uprights, and we're all knotted up. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now this offense ready to head back out. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. Mitchell takes it straight ahead. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up second and 7. Here's Mitchell again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on third down. Looking to throw. Open receiver, caught. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
I know they may have wanted to throw that pass a little bit sooner, but I'll tell you what, that receiver's ability to navigate his way across the entire field really set up the space he needed to complete the huge gain.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. From the red zone now. This one's caught. And give him 6 on the run as that play takes us to the 2-minute warning. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Mitchell up the middle. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers jump in front late. So how about the determination there? This game has been as hard fought as you will see. But they grab hold of the lead here with a late touchdown that may just win them the ball game.
You could almost feel them saying, Kate, we don't want overtime. Let's go out and get it done now. They accomplished their goal, but you do have to ask the question, do they leave too much time on the clock? Stay tuned.
That one right down the middle. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Got 1st down from the 31. Now to throw. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. To throw. And the 49ers get there and take him down. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game? But they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball. And they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. St. Brown there to bring it in. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. So a massive gain, and all of a sudden we've got 1st and 10 inside the red zone. They go left side with Miller. And he only gets this one down to the 9. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7. Throwing now. They'll set up the wide receiver screen here. And he's tackled for a short gain. The stop made that time by the rookie from Florida State.
How's your block shedding out there, boys? Because they need to get through some blocks to hang that screen up quickly. And they were Johnny on the spot.
Clock working against him here as they hurry to that line. Here he is to throw. Oh, that might kill the comeback. It's intercepted. And the 49ers will take over as this gets brought out to the 20-yard line.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. And they'll kneel it down. Timeout taken by the defense. They're 2nd. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. And they'll take a knee. The Saints call their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. And the Saints going to the dime package here, 3rd down. And he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot. Now you can enjoy the victory.
So the 49ers earn the win in this one. And they'll enter the final week of the preseason with a little momentum thanks to this victory. Ahead of that last tune-up before the games start to count. Do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the 49ers, as we'll see you next time from Santa Clara.